What's up everyone? I hope you're having a great day. My name is Paul, this is Tuned Into Cars, and this is the quite fabulous Porsche Boxster T. And before we do a quick walk around of this car and its specs, let me first explain what's what with this new T model range Porsche's got going on nowadays. Porsche started this T model range a few years ago with the 911. T stands for Touring, in case you were wondering, and it's supposed to be a more hardcore version of the model it's based on. For the 718 Boxster, the recipe was quite simple. Take the standard car, load it up with the best driving options available, add some cool design touches throughout the car, and put it on sale. But let's take a closer look at the car and run through its specs a little bit.
So, to recap, this Boxster T is basically a standard Boxster on top of which you get Porsche torque vectoring, which includes a limited slip differential, Porsche active suspension management with a ride drop of 20mm, Porsche active drivetrain mounts, the Sport Chrono Pack, and these gorgeous 20-inch wheels. Of course you can spec all of these on a standard Boxster, but it will end up more expensive, and the PASM system only drops the car by 10mm instead of 20 in the Boxster T. Then there's a few decals on the exterior, not really sure about those to be honest, fabric loops for door pulls, and contrasting grey mirror caps. This test car has the standard seats, but even these offer a perfect driving position. You sit so low that you almost feel like you're brushing the road with your butt. The Boxster T comes as standard without a radio system to save weight, but the exact same weight it sheds by losing the radio, it gains back thanks to the new emission regulations that mandates this car to be fitted with a gas particle filter. But enough mumbo jumbo, let's drive this thing.
So how does this car drive? Well, to sum it up, it's sensational. The sum of its parts is so good that it very quickly makes you forget about this rather characterless engine sitting right beside me.
It's a 2-liter turbocharged petrol unit capable of producing 300 horsepower and 380 Nm of torque. It's the least powerful Porsche engine in the current lineup, but as you'll see later on in this video, the Boxster T is just another example of less is more.
Even though this is the least powerful engine you can get on a Boxster, it's still quite fast. It takes just 5.1 seconds to reach 100 km/h from standstill, and top speed is somewhere around 275 km/h. Throttle response is excellent, it's got plenty of mid-range punch, and it pulls very well all the way up to 7,000 RPM. It does, however, suffer from turbo lag because below 3,000 RPM it doesn't really do much. However, it is time now to address the elephant in the room, which is the noise this engine makes, or better yet, lack thereof. Generation Caymans and Boxsters, Porsche ditched the old flat 6 in favor of a 4-pot plus a turbocharger. Now, I don't mind a 4-cylinder engine. I've driven quite a lot of very good ones lately, but this particular one fitted to the Boxster and the Cayman. It's a bit characterless, and the part that bothers me the most is the fact that this engine doesn't really scream, not even when you get very close to the red line.
But because this is a convertible, the sound isn't really contained on the inside when driving with the top down, and it's not as in your face as in the coupe.
Sitting on these gorgeous 20-inch wheels and 20 millimeters lower to the ground, this Porsche Boxster T is sensational through the bends. It feels sharp and agile, and it has tons of front-end grip. There's very little body roll on turn-in, and the body doesn't really flex at all. There's very little difference in the way this car behaves on the road compared to the Cayman, which is something I didn't really expect. And because this is a convertible, it gives you the open-air driving experience, and that alone makes it more exciting to drive than the coupe. Steering is perfectly judged regarding how fast it is and how weighty it feels in your hands. It's very precise, and it adds a lot to the confidence that this car aspires you.
The gearbox is sensational. It doesn't really work around town as the clutch is a bit heavy and you need a bit of strength to operate the gear lever, but get it on a B-road such as this one and it's absolutely superb. When you're higher up in the rev range, it comes alive, shifts are extremely precise, and this transmission makes the Boxster T feel very old school. It makes you work in order to extract everything it has to give you, but when you get everything right, it's one of the most rewarding driving experience a sports car can offer.
But no matter how sharp and planted on the road this car feels, somehow it manages to be a very comfortable daily driver. It's very easy to drive around town, and the suspension handles bumps in the road with the utmost of ease. So what's my conclusion regarding this car? Well, it's sensational. It's the best sports car I've ever driven by far. The engine note is something to forget, but like I've said earlier in the video, the sum of this car's parts will do just that as soon as you jump behind the wheel. And this 6-speed manual transmission in the middle is the icing on the cake. For me and for what I look for in a car, the new Porsche Boxster T is perfection.
It's nimble, it's sharp and precise, but most importantly, it's immense fun to drive. It's got usable amounts of power and you can go full throttle easily on an open back road. And because of all the praise I gave this car in this video, I've officially cancelled plans to replace my BMW M2 this year, and next spring in 2020 I will be buying a manual Porsche Boxster. But for now, I need to quickly find a daily that can fit all my family.
That's been it for today's video, my friends. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you have, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out when the comparison video between this car and the new BMW Z4 hits the channel. Thank you so much to Porsche Sweden for lending me this car for the weekend. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.